Well, first of all, how did did you get started playing golf? Like, what's your passion for golf? How'd that start?
Well, I started playing golf when I was about 2 years old.
Yeah.
As soon as I could swing a club, I was playing. My dad kind of taught himself how to play when he was in his late 20s, and we were fortunate enough to where he belonged to a club growing up, or when we were growing up. So we always had somewhere to practice and play. And he taught us from a young age playing and learning how to play and learning the right way to play, and all the great things about golf. I learned from my dad and Dr. Suddy, basically. I learned to be competitive. I learned the integrity of the game probably the most from my dad, and then I learned the fundamentals and the technique and the mechanics from Dr. Suddy. I fell in love with the game at an early age, just like a lot of kids did, and I played basketball and golf growing up. I played everything growing up, but in high school I played golf and basketball, and I love basketball. I think it's a great sport, and if I was gifted enough physically and athletically to pursue basketball, I probably would have done that. I had the opportunity to play college and basketball in college, but not quite as at a high level as I could have with golf. So I figured my future with golf was a little bit longer, and I knew I wanted to stay in sports and athletics in some way. So I decided to continue on after high school playing golf. So I started at University of Connecticut and spent a year there, and then transferred to St. Mary's out in California. I started working with Dr. Suddy when I was about 15 years old out at Cog Hill, working, I got a couple lessons from him, and then, we developed a nice relationship, and I started working for him in my summers. So my summers through college, I worked for Doc Suddy and learned a lot. I tell people I learned more in my first hour lesson with Doc than I did my entire life up until that point. Just his knowledge for and knack for teaching cause instead of effect, and knowing exactly what to work on with each player is pretty gifted, I think. And just having a really good understanding of the fundamentals and techniques and why we do certain things that we do. I think there's a lot of teachers that teach effect. You're hitting a pull cut. So let's stop hitting a pull cut, rather than, well, why are you hitting a pull cut?
Right.
What are you doing in your swing to create that effect?
Right.
And that's something that I've really taken to. That and just loving knowing why certain things you do in your swing create different shots and outcomes.
Right.
I think that's part of the fun of it all. But so anyway, after I played out at St. Mary's, I graduated in 2004, and then I was like a volunteer assistant coach out there for 2.5, 3 years while I was playing professionally.
Right.
Scott Hardy he's still the coach out at St. Mary's, and they're ranked in the top 25 now.
Yeah.
Really good golf program that he's built from the ground up, and it was just kind of cool to be a part of it. My first year playing at St. Mary's was his first year as the head coach.
Oh, cool.
So to be part of kind of the groundwork for that program and kind of help build it and start it up to what it is today has been pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah.
And then I played mini tours. I played Q School. I played all over, wherever, however I could get in and try and make some money. I played.
Was it during college while you played collegiately?
No. It was after I
Okay,
graduated. is when I played professionally.
Right.
So from 2000, towards the end of 2004 till about 2007-ish, I was playing professionally and playing in anything and everything I could get in. I did Monday qualifiers, I did Q schools, I did Gateway Tour, Spanos Tour, Pepsi Tour. Basically any mini tour that was out west at the time where I was living out in California. Right. So, and then I came to the Midwest and that was back when they had the Western Open, all the Monday qualifiers for the tour. Growing up in Chicago, I had the Western Open not too far away, the Greater Milwaukee Open, the Buick Open, and the John Deere Classic. So I had 4 pretty cool opportunities to Monday qualify in the PGA Tour events, and made it pretty close a couple of times, but missed the John Deere Classic one year by 1. Chip Beck came in with a 68 to push all the 69s out for the playoff. So, and I knew Chip Beck through Doc Suddy, and so, I obviously had to give him a little bit of a hard time about that, but. Just the experience of it all has been very cool, and then. Late 2007, Dr. Suddy called me, and he needed an assistant to help him down here. Oh, okay. And so that kind of started my journey down here. Yeah. So I came down here for, I believe my first year was 2008. I've been here, I'm in my 5th year here now, so I guess that would make, 2008. And helped him out for 2 years as his assistant, and then... the department decided that it would make more sense to have him kind of oversee both the men's and women's programs, and have me be the head coach, and that way he was able to kind of oversee both programs and still kind of be the head guy, but have the designation just changed a little bit.
So when you started under Dr. Suddy, assistant coaching for him, assisting him. Was that the first coaching you'd really ever done, right? Or had you sort of helped out with other people before?
No, I mean, my summers through college working for Dr. Suddy out at Cog Hill, I had
that was instructional assistance for him?
I did everything. I helped him with everything. Right. From setting up the range in the morning to, and putting out all the training aids and golf balls and all that, to helping schedule lessons and answering the phone, to helping him teach and training sessions and, short game stuff, and just helping him with everything, So I did a lot of instruction with Doc Suddy while I was going through college, and, even high school a little bit. I helped him with a few different things, and filmed for him during the Western Open, and different PGA Tour events that were in town. Yeah. He would have me come in and send me out to certain tournaments to help film, so he could update his, database of swing videos for lessons. I had some pretty good experience at St. Mary's as well with showing recruits around, running practice when Scott couldn't be there. As the assistant and or volunteer assistant, doing some campus tours, and when it comes to the administrative stuff and the paperwork, I didn't do much of that, but I did a lot of the day-to-day hands-on stuff, like practice and working with the team, and showing recruits around and stuff like that. Right.
I don't know, Matt, when you got that call, when you heard that they would say you're going to come up for the head coach job, and then Dr. Suddy's going to just sort of overlook everything. You must have. You must have felt at least a little pressure, thinking that I'm going to take over this team that this legendary coach has been. I got to sort of fill pretty big shoes.
Yeah, I mean, what Dr. Suddy's been able to do here has been pretty awesome. Having in our short career, short history here, to have a PGA Tour alum, from our golf team, make it to the PGA Tour is pretty special. And Derek Lamley, he and I are actually similar in age, and I got to know him through Dr. Suddy, and just practicing out at Cog Hill and working with Doc. Derek was working with him too, and he and I kind of started working with Doc around similar time frames, and to see him doing well and successful out there is awesome. And yeah, there is some pressure. I mean, it's a little different in the sense that now that we're Division One,
Right.
the competition's a little bit tougher. The tournaments are tougher. The courses are a little bit tougher. But I've done since I've been here. Our tournament schedule's improved drastically. We've got a good group of guys on our team, and we've tried to continue the winning tradition that Doc has kind of put in front of us, on the forefront. And these are all the scoreboards from tournaments that we've won just since I've been here.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So in 5 years, we've won 13 tournaments.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty good events.
Yeah.
We've got two from our home tournament, and a couple from some pretty good events with some good fields. So we've
Mission Inn. That's a good tournament.
Yeah,
That's a cool course.
Yeah, that course is interesting. It's a fun one though.
Which course did you guys play for that? Was it
El
Campeon?
Campeon.
Oh yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to. The guys on the team know that when I go recruiting, I'm trying to recruit better players than what we've already got.
Yeah.
I'm looking for kids that are going to play in our top 5 right away. That I could see when I go out and watch them, that I could see playing in our top 5 right now. And that's it. Just trying to continually bring in better and better players and better kids and kids that want to work hard and have talent and that take care of their business in the classroom and
right.
Continuing to improve on our schedule and our strength of schedule and continuing to raise much needed dollars for our budget. So we can continue to go to play in these tournaments across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And
speaking of that, I was going to ask next how difficult it is to balance the education and the athletics of your players.
Well, it's tough. A lot of people don't realize how intense the golf season is sometimes because it's fall and spring.
Yeah.
We have fall sports, we have spring sports, we have winter sports,
and you
but
guys are just year round.
It's year round. We play 5 tournaments in the fall and 5, and then our conference tournament in the spring, and then hopefully regionals and nationals. But we start when school starts in August, and our fall season ends middle of November, right before Thanksgiving, basically, and they have. Basically until they get back from Christmas break, and we start middle of January and go until the end of the school year in April, end of April is our conference tournament. So it's tough, and that's one of the big things about the recruiting process is bringing in kids that I know can handle the adjustment period.
Right.
People don't realize coming out of high school, I'm looking for kids that can shoot par better in their tournaments, because once they get to school and being on their own, and just that whole transition period of you don't have mommy and daddy telling you what to do and holding your hand. Hey, it's time to go practice, little Timmy.
Yeah.
It's all on your own, and so there's that adjustment period that I think's about 3 to 4 shots tougher.
Yeah.
Just in terms of balancing everything and making sure that you can handle the whole schedule of classes, homework, workouts, study hall, and tournaments, and traveling, and communicating with professors. There's kind of a lot to do. So, it's about bringing kids in that can handle all that. So when that adjustment happens, it's not as drastic.
Right. So for your team here, what's next for you guys here? What's your next goal you guys have?
We have a team goal of winning our conference championship every year. We feel like if we can compete for our conference championship every year, that we're gonna have a great opportunity with how tough our conference is with golf to go to a regional or a national. I think North Florida is ranked in the top 20 right now.
Yeah.
Mercer, Kennesaw State, East Tennessee State. I think they're all ranked in the top 75 right now.
Yeah.
So to have 4 schools ranked in the top 75 in the country out of 300 plus Division I teams within our conference, and one of them being a top 20 school. We know that if we can stay competitive, we'll have a good chance to move on to postseason stuff. But for us, it usually comes down to having to win our conference championship to go to a regional. If we can do that, we feel like we can compete with anybody in the country.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool. I got nothing else for you.